My friends, in life, everyone wants to shine. They want the applause, the recognition, the fame. But very few are willing to go through the quiet, unglamorous grind that truly creates success. The truth is, the real work happens when no one is watching. Stay low means staying humble. It means understanding that your value isn't in shouting about what you're doing. It's in doing it in the. Flowers don't make noise when they bloom, yet their fragrance is felt everywhere. Grind hard means putting in consistent effort. Not when it's convenient, not when it's easy, but every single day. It's showing up when your mind says rest, and your heart says try once more, and shine loud is the natural outcome. When you've done the work, the results speak louder than any self-promotion in the. You don't have to convince people you're great. They'll see it in your actions, your results, and then your character. The greatest victories are prepared in silence and revealed in light. So, don't rush for the spotlight. Let your grind be your proof, your humility be your strength, and your results be your voice. True growth begins in silence. When you're working on yourself, you don't always need the world's acknowledgement. A seed doesn't break through the soil overnight. It spends days, weeks, sometimes months beneath the ground, unseen, quietly developing roots strong enough to hold its future. In the same way, your personal growth often happens in the hidden spaces of your life. In your early mornings when you're reading, learning or practicing, in your late nights when you're refining your craft, in those moments of sacrifice when you say no to distractions, people might look at you and think nothing is happening because they don't see the result yet, but that's okay. The strength you build in private becomes the foundation you stand on in public. The moment will come when your efforts push you above the surface, and by then, you'll have the resilience to withstand challenges and the maturity to handle success. A growth is not about rushing to show the world. It's about becoming someone who is ready when the world finally notices. The humility is a magnet for respect. The higher you go in life, the more important it is to remember the ground you came from. Many people confuse humility with weakness, but in reality, humility is the strength that keeps you steady when the winds of success blow strong. Think about a tall tree. No matter how high it grows, its roots remain buried deep in the earth. The roots don't try to rise above the soil to boast about their work They quietly hold the tree steady, feeding it and keeping it alive. In life, humility works the same way. It's the deep root system of a person's character. Without it, no matter how high they rise, the smallest storm can uproot them. Humility allows you to treat people kindly, no matter their status. When you're humble, you don't look down on anyone because you know that life is unpredictable. Today you may be in a position of influence, but tomorrow the tables can turn I've seen people in my life who were at the peak of their careers but a single wrong decision or an unexpected challenge brought them back to the very starting line. Those who practiced humility along the way had people ready to help them rebuild. Those who were arrogant found themselves standing alone. Humility also keeps your learning alive. The moment you think you know everything, your growth stops. When you're humble, you approach life as a student, eager to listen, to understand and to learn even from those younger or less experienced than you. Many breakthroughs in life come from unexpected sources. And a humble heart can recognize wisdom no matter where it comes from. There's also something deeply magnetic about humility people naturally gravitate toward those who make them feel valued and respected. It's not the loudest or most self-promoting person who leaves a lasting impression. It's the one who listens, who acknowledges others' contributions, and who never lets success inflate their ego. Humility earns you loyalty, not out of fear or obligation, but out of genuine admiration. Think of leaders who have inspired you. Most likely, it's not just their achievements that impressed you, but the way they carried themselves despite those achievements. Humility in leadership makes people feel safe to share ideas, to admit mistakes, and to grow together. Without humility, leadership becomes about control. With humility, leadership becomes about service. One of the most powerful aspects of humility is its ability to protect your mind from the poison of comparison. If you're humble you're not obsessed with proving you're better than someone else. You're focused on becoming better than the person you were yesterday. You recognize that each person has their own journey, and someone else's success does not diminish your own. This perspective frees you from jealousy and resentment allowing you to genuinely celebrate others' victories. Humility doesn't mean you hide your achievements or downplay your hard work. It means you acknowledge that while your effort was essential so was the help you received along the way, from mentors, friends, family, or even unexpected circumstances. You realize that success is rarely a solo act. Just as a tree needs sunlight, water, and fertile soil to grow you've had your own sources of nourishment, opportunities, encouragement, and guidance from others. When you live with humility, you leave a legacy far beyond your accomplishments. People will remember not just what you did, but how you made them feel. They'll remember the way you treated them when you had no reason to impress them, the respect you showed when you didn't have to, and the way you carried yourself when no one could offer you anything in return. And here's the most beautiful part: humility grows stronger with success. If you choose it, the more life gives you, the more reasons you have to stay grounded. Because true greatness isn't measured by how high you rise, but by how well you carry the weight of success without letting it crush your kindness. When you stay low in spirit, you allow your achievements to shine brighter. Not because you shout about them, but because the world can see them reflected in the quiet strength of your character. Discipline is your best friend. It's the quiet force that holds your hand when motivation leaves the room. People often wait for the right mood or perfect timing to start working on their goals, but discipline doesn't care about moods or timing. It shows up whether you feel excited or exhausted whether it's sunny or raining, whether you're inspired or not. Discipline is what gets you out of bed when the alarm rings, even though your body begs for 5 more minutes. It's what makes you open your laptop to work when every distraction calls your name. Without discipline, dreams remain just dreams, pretty in your head, but powerless in reality. Think about any great musician, athlete, or entrepreneur. Being their achievements is not just talent, but relentless discipline. Talent might give you a head start but discipline is what keeps you in the race when others have dropped out. An athlete trains even when they're sore. A musician practices scales when they'd rather play something fun. A writer keeps typing when the words don't flow easily. These moments are rarely glamorous. They're often repetitive, tiring, and lonely. But that's exactly where greatness is built. In the quiet repetition of disciplined effort. Discipline also protects you from the trap of procrastination. It's easy to say, I'll do it tomorrow, or I'll start when I feel ready. But the truth is, tomorrow never comes in the way we imagine. Life is always busy, and there will always be reasons to delay. Discipline cuts through excuses. It says, I don't need the perfect conditions. I'll start now. And once you start you often find that the work wasn't as hard as you imagined. It was the thinking about it that made it seem heavy. Another power of discipline is that it builds self-respect. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, you strengthen your belief in your own word. If you decide you'll read 20 pages a day, and you actually do it for weeks, you start to see yourself as someone reliable, not just to others, but to yourself. That trust becomes a powerful foundation for confidence. You stop doubting whether you can handle challenges because you've proven over and over that you can follow through. Discipline also creates freedom. This might sound strange, but it's true. People think discipline is about restriction, but it actually gives you more control over your life. If you're disciplined with your finances, you gain the freedom to travel, invest, or help others without stress. If you're disciplined with your health, you gain the freedom to enjoy life without constant illness or fatigue. If you're disciplined with your time, you gain the freedom to spend it on things that matter most. Without discipline, you're at the mercy of your impulses, and impulses rarely lead to long-term happiness. It's also worth noting that discipline feeds on itself. The more you practice it, the stronger it becomes. At first, waking up early might feel like torture, but after weeks of doing it, your body adjusts. At first, saying no to unhealthy food might feel like deprivation. But after you feel the benefits, it becomes easier. The same applies to studying, working out, or saving money. Discipline starts as a decision, but over time, it becomes a habit, and eventually, it feels like part of your identity. Perhaps the greatest gift of discipline is that it prepares you for the moments when life tests you. Challenges rarely give you advance notice. The opportunities rarely wait for you to get ready. If you've built discipline, you don't have to scramble to prepare. You're already prepared. You've already been training, practicing, and strengthening yourself daily. That readiness can make the difference between missing an opportunity and seizing it with confidence. In the end, discipline may not always feel pleasant in the moment, but it always leaves you grateful later. It's like planting seeds and watering them every day, even when you don't see the sprouts yet. One day, without warning, those seeds bloom, and you realize it was discipline that brought the harvest. It's not the flash of motivation, not the lucky break, but the steady, daily choice to do what needs to be done, no matter how you feel. That's why discipline, though sometimes tough to embrace, will always be your best and most loyal friend. The grind tests your patience. It's not just about how much work you can do, but about how long you're willing to do it without seeing immediate results. In the early stages of any dream, progress is often invisible. You might be putting in hours, days, even months of effort, yet the outcome feels far away. This is where most people quit not because they aren't capable, but because they can't stand the wait. Patience is the silent strength that keeps you moving forward when the finish line isn't in sight. Think about a farmer who plants seeds. He doesn't wake up the next morning expecting to see a full harvest. He knows there's a season for planting, a season for watering, and only much later, a season for reaping. The grind is exactly like that. It demands you keep working when there's nothing to show off. Yet, those who lack patience pull up their seeds too soon, wondering why they never grew. Those who have patience keep nurturing, trusting that growth is happening underground. Patience during the grind also teaches you to focus on process over outcome. When you're too obsessed with quick results, you start cutting corners, lowering your standards, or chasing shortcuts. But when you learn to be patient, you understand that quality takes time. A master craftsman doesn't rush a piece of art. A musician doesn't rush a composition. A builder doesn't rush a strong foundation. The same applies to building your life's work. The grind tests you in ways beyond the physical. It challenges your mental resilience. There will be days when you question whether your effort is worth it. There will be times when it feels like everyone else is moving faster while you're stuck in place. Patience helps you hold your ground, reminding you that your journey is your own. And comparing it to someone else's pace will only distract you. The beauty of developing patience through the grind is that makes the eventual reward so much sweeter. When you've waited, worked, and persisted for a long time, success doesn't just feel like an achievement. It feels like a victory over every moment you could have quit but didn't. That satisfaction is something instant success can never give. In truth, The grind is less about proving to the world that you can do it and more about proving to yourself that you can endure it. It shapes you in the waiting, in the slow days, in the moments when you keep going despite no applause. And one day, when the results finally show, you look back and realize that the patience you built in the grind was just as valuable as the success it brought. Results speak louder than words. You can talk about your dreams, your plans, and your intentions all day long, but at the end of the day, people believe what they see, not what they hear. Words can inspire for a moment, but results inspire for a lifetime. They are the undeniable evidence of your effort, the proof that you didn't just think about it, you actually did it. You don't have to convince anyone of your worth when your work speaks for itself. It's easy to get caught up in announcing every move you're making, in the telling everyone about the big things you're going to do. But if you spend more time talking about your goals than working toward them, you risk falling into the trap of seeking approval before you even achieved anything. 22 hours to be in the real progress doesn't need constant broadcasting. It naturally draws attention once it's visible. The tallest tree in the forest doesn't shout to be noticed. Its height does the talking. Results have a power that no argument or explanation can match. You can say you're dedicated, but if people see the consistent work you've put in over time, they won't need convincing. You can say you're talented, but when your finished product, performance or achievement is in front of them, it becomes undeniable. Results turn doubters into believers and believers into lifelong supporters. The pursuit of results also keeps you accountable. When you focus on creating something tangible, you measure your progress not by how much effort you think you've put in, but by what you can actually show for it. This mindset shifts you from just being busy to being productive. You stop chasing the appearance of success and start building the reality of it. Results also have a ripple effect. They inspire others without you having to say a word. When someone sees what you've accomplished, it sparks a thought. If they can do it, maybe I can too. That silent inspiration can be more powerful than any motivational speech because it comes from seeing possibility in action. And the truth is, results aren't just for the world. They're for you too. They remind you that your effort was worth it, that all the long hours, sacrifices, and challenges led to something real. They give you momentum to aim for the next level because you've proven to yourself that you can turn vision into reality. In the end, results are your loudest voice. You don't need to argue with critics or defend your dreams. Just keep working. Let your actions build the story. Let your achievements carry the message. And let your results speak for you. Clearly, powerfully, and without a single word. Stay focused, not distracted. In a world full of noise, focus is your greatest weapon. Everywhere you turn, something is competing for your attention. Social media updates, endless notifications, breaking news, other people's opinions, and the constant temptation to compare yourself to others. If you're not intentional, you'll find yourself reacting to everything instead of building something meaningful. Focus is about keeping your eyes fixed on your own path, no matter what's happening around you. Distraction is sneaky because it doesn't always feel like a waste of time in the moment. You might convince yourself you're researching when you've actually been scrolling for hours, or that you networking when you're really just gossiping. These small leaks of attention add up and can pull you far off course without you even noticing. That's why focus requires discipline. The discipline to say no to things that don't align with your goals, even if they're tempting in the short term. When you stay focused, you give yourself the gift of momentum. Every bit of energy invest in your priorities compounds, just like saving money in an account. But if you keep switching between tasks or chasing every new idea, you never give any one thing enough attention to truly grow. Think of sunlight through a magnifying glass. Scattered light feels warm, but concentrated light can start a fire. Your focus works the same way. Focus also protects your mental peace. Constant distraction keeps your mind scattered and restless making it harder to feel satisfied or accomplished. But when you concentrate on one goal at a time, you feel a sense of progress and clarity That clarity reduces stress and gives you the confidence to keep going. Staying focused doesn't mean ignoring the world or never adjusting your plan. It means you filter everything through a single question. Does this move me closer to where I want to be? If the answer is no, you let it go, even if it's popular, exciting, or easy. Over time, this habit shapes you into someone who finishes what they start, not someone who is always starting something new. In the end, the focus isn't about doing more. It's about doing what matters most. It's the ability to keep moving toward your vision without getting lost in the noise, the trends, or the endless pull of distraction. When you master focus you give your dreams the attention they need to grow, and you give yourself the best chance of actually reaching them. Prepare in private to perform in public. The most extraordinary performances, speeches, games, and achievements are rarely born in the spotlight. They are forged in the quiet hours when no one is watching. The audience sees the polished moment, the confident delivery, the perfect execution, but they don't see the months or years of unseen preparation that made it possible. True excellence is built in the shadows long before it's revealed in the light. When you prepare in private, you give yourself space to make mistakes without judgment. You can fail, adjust, and try again without the pressure of public opinion. This is where you refine your skills, strengthen your weaknesses, and push yourself beyond your comfort zone. Athletes train for countless hours before stepping into the arena. Musicians practice endlessly before stepping onto the stage. Entrepreneurs plan, test and fail in the background before launching a product the world celebrates. Private preparation also builds confidence. The more you've practiced, rehearsed, and learned behind the scenes, the more natural it feels when it's time to perform. You're not relying on luck or hoping for the best. You know you're ready because you've already faced the challenges in practice. That preparation becomes your safety net, allowing you to focus fully on the moment instead of worrying about whether you can deliver. There's also an element of humility in preparing privately. You're not seeking applause for the work you're doing. You're investing in yourself because you know the payoff will come later. This keeps your focus on the craft, not the recognition. When the recognition does come, it feels earned. Not because you talked about what you could do, but because you proved it when the time was right. The truth is, the public stage can be unforgiving. If you step into it unprepared, the cracks will show quickly. But if you've invested the time in private to master your skills, you'll be ready to meet the challenge. It won't be luck that makes you shine. It will be the quiet in the consistent work you've done when no one was there to cheer you on. So, every time you're tempted to skip the practice, the study, or the planning because no one will notice, remember that the best way to stand out in public is to outwork everyone in private. The spotlight only reveals what you've been building all along. Shining is a byproduct, not the goal. When you make recognition your main target, you risk losing sight of the very work that could make you great. The most fulfilled and successful people don't chase the spotlight. They chase excellence They pour themselves into their craft, their mission, and their growth, knowing that if they keep doing things well, the shine will come naturally. The light you seek is a result of what you consistently give, not something you can force. When you focus solely on shining, you can become impatient, cutting corners to get attention quickly. This often leads to shallow success that fades as fast as it arrives. But when you focus on the process, the daily grind, the small improvements, the honest work, you build something solid. And solid work stands the test of time. People eventually notice quality, whether you're actively promoting it or not. The beauty of treating shining as a byproduct is that it keeps your ego in check. If your goal is to become better every day, you're less concerned with competing for applause and more concerned with mastering your own potential. This mindset protects you from the emotional highs and lows of external validation. Applause is nice but it doesn't define your worth. Your consistent growth does. Focusing on the process also allows you to enjoy the journey. When you're not fixated on constantly being noticed, you can find joy in the small wins, learning a new skill, overcoming a challenge, or seeing yourself improve in ways no one else even realizes. Those moments feed your motivation and make the work feel meaningful even before anyone else sees the results. The truth is, genuine shine can't be faked for long. You might be able to create a temporary impression through appearances. But lasting impact only comes from depth. And depth is developed through dedication, discipline, and patience. When you put in that work, the shine will take care of itself, and it will be brighter because it's built on real value. So instead of chasing the light, focus on building the fire. Let your passion, discipline, and consistency burn steadily, and soon enough, the light will be too bright for anyone to ignore. When shining is simply the natural outcome of your commitment, it will last far longer than if you had made it the sole purpose from the start. When you shine, share the light. Success becomes more meaningful when it's not just about you, but about how many people you can uplift along the way. It's easy to think that your achievements are yours alone, but in reality, every accomplishment is connected to a web of people who helped, inspired, or supported you in some way. Sharing the light means using your position, resources, and knowledge to help others grow so they can also find their own path to success. When you reach a place where your efforts are finally recognized, it can be tempting to guard your strategies. Keep your experiences to yourself and focus only on maintaining your own advantage. But the most impactful leaders and achievers are those who pull others up with them. By sharing what you've learned, offering guidance, or even creating opportunities, you create a ripple effect of growth that extends far beyond your own journey. Sharing the light also builds legacy. Awards, titles, and material gains may fade over time, but the lives you touch will continue to carry your influence forward. Think of teachers who inspired students, mentors who shaped careers, or leaders who encouraged teams. Their light lives on in the people they empowered. There's also a surprising benefit to giving away your light. It doesn't make yours dimmer. In fact, the more you give, the brighter it becomes. When you help others rise, you create allies, partners, and communities that enrich your own journey. Your reputation grows not just because of your achievements but because of the generosity and integrity you showed while achieving them. And perhaps most importantly, sharing the light keeps you grounded. It reminds you that success is not a finish line, but a platform. A place from which you can make a difference. It shifts your perspective from what can I get to what can I give. That shift doesn't just make you more impactful, it makes you more fulfilled. In the end, the light you share often comes back to you in ways you never expect. Through gratitude, loyalty, and the quiet knowledge that your success didn't end with you, but became the spark for someone else's beginning.